Thank you, Soares, for this opportunity. I'm Candace Hollingsworth, former mayor of the city of Hyattsville, where I served nearly 10 years. I'm proud of the work that we did to revitalize our community, but I want to take that work to the next level. That's why I co-founded Our Black Party, a national organization dedicated to improving the quality of life for Black people nationwide, and why I'm running to serve as Maryland's next lieutenant governor. Our state has such potential not yet realized, especially for Black Marylanders. I'm excited to do this work alongside my friend and running mate, former Attorney General Doug Gansler.
Thanks, Candace. I'm honored to have you as my partner in an effort to ensure that all of Maryland's communities are safe, just, and strong. Before I was elected Attorney General, I spent 2 terms as Montgomery County State's Attorney. And before that, I was an Assistant United States Attorney under Eric Holder prosecuting homicides. There, I was able to keep people safe through an innovative approach to criminal justice called community prosecution. And we started the first drug courts and domestic violence dockets in the state of Maryland. I was also chair of the NAACP Criminal Justice Committee to make sure that we had a just approach to criminal justice. So I'm looking forward to our conversation with the women of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated today. And it looks like the first question is about how we will put the health and wellness of people above politics as we begin to recover from this terrible pandemic.
Thanks, Doug. And I would tell my sorors that you and I will always put people over politics because that's what we've done throughout our entire careers. Under my leadership, Hyattsville was the first city in the state of Maryland to earn a platinum designation as a HEAL city. We provided free opportunities for residents to access important health screenings, like for diabetes, hypertension, and HIV. We introduced exercise through our monthly Moving with the Mayor series, and we created the area's first active food forest to provide free and locally grown food for our residents. And as we recover from this pandemic, we will make sure that our local leaders have all the resources that they need to make sure that our communities can thrive. As is true for all the women of Alpha Kappa Alpha, we step up and stand in the gap when needed, and Doug and I will continue to lead by example.
That's right, Candace. This pandemic has taught us the importance of prioritizing the well-being of our communities and how it connects to every single thing we do. For example, our campaign features a robust plan for addressing mental health that includes creating 10 new regional behavioral health centers and increasing access to mental health services in schools and for first responders and law enforcement. A healthy community is a safe community. And you know, there are many Marylanders whose choices for their health and wellness are dictated by what they can afford. So our joint task is also to figure out how we will address Maryland's wealth and poverty gap. We have to make historic investments in the communities and the people who have been left behind. That begins with implementing the blueprint so that every child has a world-class education, no matter what their zip code, raising the minimum wage to living wage, encouraging entrepreneurship by helping small businesses get access to capital, and making sure that we're supporting Black-owned business in particular.
You're so right, Doug. I know you've seen firsthand the ways that systems attempt to maintain the status quo, and I'm glad we will be working together to create a new reality for our families. For example, our Sunlight of Opportunity plan for Black Marylanders calls for financial literacy to be taught in high schools so that young people like my 2 teenagers can start thinking about investments in entrepreneurship at an early age. I am proud that we are not substituting the important work of creating opportunities and building strong communities by just simply growing individual wealth. We can and will do both. And Doug, I'd like to direct the last question to you. What are your thoughts on addressing police reform and the school to prison pipeline in particular?
Thanks, Candace. Really, I'm so excited to have you as a partner in this because we are the right team for the right moment. And the issue of public safety and keeping people safe is essential, but doing it in a just way. For example, when I was state's attorney, I put every police shooting in front of the grand jury. I didn't whitewash those cases. I wanted the community to decide whether or not the shooting was justified. As governor, we'll make sure that every police shooting in the state goes in front of a grand jury. We'll make sure our police officers are trained in de-escalation so they're not shooting people in the first place. And that's just the start. We'll invest in and reform our school resource officer program to make sure our SROs are trained well and to make sure that issues are resolved in the school setting and not pipeline people into the criminal justice system. And I'll toot my own horn here. I'm the only candidate in the race that fundamentally understands how the criminal justice system has worked. No other candidate in the race has any experience whatsoever with the criminal justice system. And we've had a track record of changing for the better, making sure we bring down crime. My greatest hope for Maryland is that we reach our potential. We can only do that by making sure everyone, no matter what part of the state they live in, can reach their highest ambitions. Like the women of Alpha Kappa Alpha, like you, Candace, I lead, and I know that working with you, Candace, we will lead together to transform what safety and justice means for Marylanders.